You didn't wait last time. You did come last time.
Yeah, I did, yeah. That's all right.
You go in.
Thank you. Hi, how are you? You're right. My pleasure, yeah. That's all right.
Debbie came last time round. And
I just had a phone with the car.
Yeah. So, and I'm also concerned to hear that you've had difficulties with the family court.
Am I not the first? I can't be the first person.
I'm afraid you're not. In fact, you're not even the first person this morning who's come to complain about the family court.
I'm just, at first I was angry, and then I was sort of feeling a bit helpless and a bit voiceless. But now I just think I've given up my job now to just pursue this because it's ridiculous. The lay judge just neglected my rights as someone who had to be listened to, my side of the story, to counter what the allegations were brought against me. At the time, I didn't even read the statement, and to my horror, she'd written 32 lies and 10 half-truths, and most of them can be proved otherwise. I tried to get in touch with the court in the case, and they just kept refusing to talk to me. And they kept telling me, yeah, non-molestation orders, we can do it, you know, that's it, 1 year and all that. And I said, but the thing is, I was never allowed to defend myself. I was never allowed to begin some kind of closure, you know. So as you can imagine, that's why I'm here.
It might be very distressing to find yourself on the end of that kind
Anyone
of
could find themselves on the end of it, I believe. Even a lady could find herself on the end of it, but it's mostly men. It happened to me. The reason why I'm coming to you is because it's happened to me twice now. The first time it happened was with a lady that I was living with, and we had a child, and we had an altercation or something happened. She just didn't want me living there anymore, and I just she called the police. I called the police because I wanted to see my daughter, and then she took out. I think she spent like £8,000 on a lawyer to make sure that she had full power. She ended up taking the house, taking my daughter. It's only that my daughter contacts me now to see me again that I've actually been able to open up some kind of, you know, to be a father to her. Yeah. And it was all over a very small altercation. The family courts, it's happened the second time now. The family courts have not listened and not been able to give me a fact-finding exercise. They were just deliberately biased against me. They just took her side completely, just took every word she said as gospel. You know, this kind of thing shouldn't be going on in a court. I mean, I wasn't even allowed to challenge what she said, you know. It was quite ridiculous.
And is the non-molestation order still in?
That's right, yeah, no contact. I actually breached it by accident, and I ended up getting sent to custody or something. I've never been in trouble with the law, and I'm 44 years of age, so you can imagine. I was a bit astonished at how it happened so quickly. And I was in front of a magistrate, and I got community service, and I was like, wow. And it was all over false allegations, though.
And now, what I would say is, in terms of the way the decisions that the courts make, as you'll probably appreciate, MPs have no power to get involved.
If I was a crazy person, right, I'd have a track record at least. But 44 years of age, never been in trouble with the police. The person's come from another country as well. They never checked their history.
Yeah.
You know, I never even got a fair trial. That's the thing. There was no jury. There was nothing. It was just sort of like, okay, he did that. Okay, non-molestation order. Yeah, whatever. No contact. Whatever. I was like, huh? No evidence.
No, I know
that there's some crazy. Yeah, I mean, it was just like I didn't even know about the non-molestation order because they can do this emergency thing.
Yes.
Well, they can just slip it in, and she'd actually extorted money from me, right? She's actually like a scammer. On top of that, I was just trying to get my money back. Yeah. And they didn't want to hear my story. They didn't care. In the magistrate, they didn't give a damn about cause and effect. It was like, you know, whatever, you know.
Is there any? you been given a date for where the order expires, or
Yeah, the date of the order, I can't feel it, there's no point, because they don't listen anyway. Even if I'm right, it doesn't matter. It's next year, it's January the 25th, I think, or 24th. I just feel that justice wasn't really served, because she assaulted me as well, and she just left it out of her allegation.
Yeah.
And she owes me a lot of money, and she just said that, you know, just came out with some rubbish, that was just gifts and all this kind of thing. You know, like when people sort of turn it around.
Yeah.
And the police just exacerbated it, you know, the problem. I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and they said, you know, that's, a lot of people would have got quite angry with that, and they would have got, like, you know, narcissism. I don't know if you're, it's sort of like when someone just thinks about themselves all the time.
Yeah.
And then you kind of, you go through some kind of narcissistic abuse syndrome.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This person suffered from that. This person also enjoyed making others suffer from it. She had NPD, all right. But when I was going on about it, I just looked crazy, innit? I looked like I was just talking rubbish, because obviously she's very clever, because she's hidden it from other people. But I would never have been in front of a magistrate if she didn't have NPD. That's the thing. And, you know,
I wish...
She came into my life, ripped me off, went out of it, I tried to get back my money, and she got a non-molestation order, and then the courts, didn't listen to, you know, the cause and effect of every, I just couldn't get any justice. I mean, I've got a lot of people, thanks. The NMC are involved, the Home Office are involved,
Sorry, who are NMC?
the Nursing Midwife Council, Midwifery Council, I think they're set up in London, because they need to, because she's a nurse. She's a band 5 nurse, a professional, and she's everything on the outside that you would never think she was on the inside. Like, she's outgoing, church orientated, family orientated. She's got loads of friends, she's popular, all that kind of stuff, yeah. But she went through a narcissistic cycle with me, right? Because I was talking to a psychologist. She discarded when she got a new supply, and then she didn't want to pay me back. And it was just awful, because I had to work in the same area as where she was living. So I had to give up my job.
And what is your goal here?
To get justice, and to get her at least to tell the NMC of this person, because I don't want other people getting affected by this. This could be, I mean, she's a scammer. I think she's taken £500 off a lady in Horsham that she never paid back. She's taken £500 from the Gloucester Filipino Association that she never paid back. She never paid for the rent she was going to pay me. A lady in Horsham where she was staying, she never paid her back. You see what I mean? It's like, it's accumulative, and she just, I don't want her hurting anyone else. I don't want her, like, giving people narcissistic abuse syndrome, yeah? Because it ruins your life. You kind of lose, you need therapy, anyway, you need healing and all that. It's just a horrible, they're almost sociopathic. She's almost a sociopath, yeah? But
as I say,
it's just hard to imagine, but it's perfect. It's a perfect camouflage to be a nurse, to be church going, to have loads of friends, and like that. And she knows that. She knows that she's very difficult to pin down, and that's actually she destroyed me.
I mean, it's an obvious question. But
Yeah.
Have you taken legal advice on this? Because if the concern is
slander and defamation, she could be prosecuted for slander, defamation, theft. I could go misrepresentation, duplicity, deception. There's a lot of stuff that she could get. I could follow through, and it cost a lot of money to pin her. But I'd rather just get her deported, man. But the thing is, I know that she's with vulnerable patients now. You know, that's the thing. She's in a ward where she's looking after people, and I know she's done this before, because she's told me about relationships that just where some guy's he's abusing himself with alcohol. Another guy that she was giving lifts to in the hospital in Iloilo. She just slips out these stories when she was with me, yeah? An old man that was just giving her a lift home or whatever, and then she didn't want lifts home anymore, and he just continued, and then she reported him to the authorities, and then he got done, yeah? So this is just this is like a narcissistic game with her.
So, from what you've told me, you've raised this with the nursing and midwifery council. So they've now got the information.
I've raised it with as many people as I can.
Yeah.
I've even tried to get the Philippine consul involved, but you know, some people, they don't see it as a problem, you know. But for me,
well, it sounds like you've taken the most effective action available to ensure that the regulator of the profession is aware of what's happened to you and your views about your. Is she's presumably an ex-partner? Or?
I thought she was a partner.
Yeah.
But it's not a partnership, it's a transaction. What you're doing, what you're getting into, you think you're getting into you're meeting a girl that loves you and wants to marry you and have children and settle down just like in a nice, you know, film or whatever. But it turns out that she was a narcissist in a transaction with a supply. And then it takes a long time to work that out. And in the meantime, she's just extracting money either way, you know. I had a car crash. Look, I had a van crash. Yeah, that's how I found out the true person. I had a van crash. I fell asleep because I was doing too many hours and went into a tree. I told her I had a van crash. I nearly died. Whatever. Yeah, and her reaction was really strange. It was like her house is here, the hospital's here. Yeah, it's like a 5-minute walk, right? She just went, yeah, I've got to go back to bed. You know. I'll just phone him up, see if you're in there, whatever. I was really worried about you, blah, blah. And then, boom. She didn't even check the A&E. Right? So straight away I thought, whoa, you know, there's no empathy there, man. What am I dealing with? What's going on here? You know? And then she's telling everybody that we broke up in June of 2018, the 11th, which is when she moved out. But she was still playing with me until October.
Well,
I don't know what you think. I mean, I'm just telling you the story, just the back. I know you can't have her for any of that.
I know. I mean, I wish.
But I'm going back to the courts. Going back to the courts. Because it's the courts that I came for. It wasn't her. That was just the background. They didn't listen to what she did. You know, they didn't listen to the cause and the effect, and they didn't really understand how it perpetuated my psychological outlook, you know, or my perception. So they kind of exacerbated the problem by just trying to put it under the carpet, you know. And I couldn't get justice. I mean, they didn't even want to listen to me. They want to listen to me now because I've been complaining to Revolver, but you know, or Resolver in it, yeah.
Well, thank you for coming to see me to tell me about this. As I've said, as an MP, the courts are really, their decisions are outside my remit. But you know, if I get the opportunity in Parliament to focus on these matters, I know that there are times that you know, men and fathers in particular, sometimes their rights aren't properly respected and they're not listened to by the courts. I think there's a case for trying to ensure that the family courts operate more transparently about it. Because
I'm not a wife beater. I'm not someone who intentionally likes abusing women. And I just lost heart just like that. It was like one minute. I think even the police are quite biased. They just assume that men are aggressors or something. Yeah. Because I called the police because one day I wanted to take my daughter out and I hadn't seen her in weeks, and it's just way before the non-molestation order and all that, yeah, restraining order. Yeah. And I just said, look, you've had her for like months now. She's only 3 years old. I want to take her to the seaside. I want to go out and visit my mum and so on. And then she'd just say something like, no, she's got to go to school. Education first. I go, she's not at the legal age to go to school because she is, you know, she's a psychologist. She believes that she has to be socialised as quickly as possible, which is fair enough, yeah. But I hadn't seen her for ages. The police, when they came, they treated me like the aggressor because she started crying, yeah.
Mr. Warren, well,
anyway, I'm just saying that it's
thank you for sharing your experience.
Sorrows,
it obviously it is a real worry that, you know, from this